Hello and welcome. Western Uttar Pradesh is on the boil. Disturbing caste clashes are becoming the order of the day. In response to a serious caste clashes in Saharanapur over the last 2 months, this week, Delhi's Jantar Mantar witnessed a major Dalit rally against the alleged violence by upper caste Thakurs, the community to which the recently appointed UP Chief Minister and Hindutva hardliner Aditya Nath belongs to. Thousands of Dalit protesters gathered under the banner of a so-called Bhim Army. Similarly, following the Unna atrocity, where cow protection vigilantes mercilessly beat 4 Dalit men who were doing their jobs, skinning a dead cow, there was a consolidated resistance under the banner of a local body, the Dalit Atyachar Ladat Samiti, another Dalit group that has no political backing. So we're asking today, is Dalit affirmation taking centre stage? Has the Dalit Uprising 2.0 begun? From the BSP, we have Devashish Jararia. From the BJP, we have Syed Zafar Islam. Jignesh, a Dalit activist in the face of the Gujarat Dalit movement post the horrific Unna floggings by upper caste cow vigilantes. From the Bhim Army, we have Pippal. From opposite spectrums, we have CB Sharma, a professor at IGNU, and Chandra Bhan Prasad, author and political commentator. Now, in case you're wondering what the Bhim Army is, we wouldn't blame you because they really haven't gotten as much coverage in the mainstream media as they should have. And in fact, this little known group, the fact that they were able to mobilize such large numbers at Jantar Mantar, is it a wake-up call for our society and political parties of all hues? Let's put that question across to Satpal Tanwar. Satpal ji, thanks so much for joining us. अब बताइए, ये Bhim Army है क्या? मतलब आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की शुरुआत हुई थी, एजुकेशन, यू वर प्रोवाइडिंग एजुकेशन, कोचिंग क्लासेस फ्री में आप दे रहे थे दलित स्टूडेंट्स को. अब आप दिल्ली में हो, इन द मिडल ऑफ ऑल दिस पॉलिटिक्स, कैसे हुए आप? इसके बीच में कैसे ड्रैग हुए?
कोच, मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि भीम आर्मी एक सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो काम करती है उन गरीब बच्चों के लिए, दलित बच्चों के लिए, विडोज के लिए. और अभी ये भी बताना चाहूँगा कि एक आईएएस एकेडमी फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट जो एजुकेशंस दी जाएंगी, आईएएस की कोचिंग दी जाएगी, वो भी भीम आर्मी डेवलप कर रही है. तो वहाँ पर जो आर्सेनिक कभी से हो रहे हैं, और हम यूट्यूब पर भी इसको देख सकते हैं कि भीम आर्मी ने जो अत्याचार वहाँ पर होते हैं उसका बिल्कुल कड़ा विरोध किया है, लेकिन एक लीगल तरीके से विरोध किया है उसका. लेकिन जो ये सहारनपुर में हुआ वो बहुत ही, ये गवर्नमेंट, जैसे गवर्नमेंट आई है बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट, और बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट आने के बाद में आप देख सकते हैं चीफ मिनिस्टर भी ठाकुर कम्युनिटी से है, और हम होम मिनिस्टर को भी ले लें तो वो भी ठाकुर कम्युनिटी से हैं, वहाँ के जो डीएम हैं वो भी ठाकुर कम्युनिटी से हैं. तो वहाँ पर क्या हुआ कि 5 मई की बात होगी, ये 5 मई को कुछ लोगों ने वहाँ पर दंगा करने की कोशिश की, और वहाँ के फ़ोटोज़ वगैरह भी न्यूज़पेपर्स वगैरह में भी प्रिंट हुए हैं, जिन्होंने जो है बिल्कुल एक कह सकते हैं ऑरेंज कलर का जो इनका एक प्रतीक चिन्ह होता है वो कपड़ा गले में डाला हुआ था पूरा, और तलवारें लहरा रहे थे, लोगों के घरों में घुस रहे थे, दलित कम्युनिटीज को मार रहे थे, पीट रहे थे. दहशत का जो नंगा नाच वहां पर इन्होंने खेला था वो बहुत ही भयावह था. पुलिस वहां पर मौजूद थी, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं होती है. 4 दिन बीत जाते हैं वहाँ पर.
पुलिस के बारे में बात की थी, यूपी पुलिस एक्चुअली कहती है कि आपके साथ नक्सल कनेक्शंस है. ऑफ कोर्स उन्होंने एविडेंस तो कुछ नहीं दी है, मगर कह रहे हैं ये.
हाँ, मैं इसके बारे में भी अभी बताऊंगा. तो वहाँ पर 4 दिन बीत गए, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई. तो भीम आर्मी के संस्थापक चंद्रशेखर आजाद एडवोकेट ने महापंचायत का आयोजन किया गांधी पार्क में कि हम शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से एक प्रदर्शन करेंगे, हम डिमांड करेंगे जस्टिस की. तो उस दौरान में जो वहाँ पर दंगा हुआ 9 मई को, दंगे का आरोप भीम आर्मी पर लगाया गया, लेकिन भीम आर्मी ने कोई दंगा नहीं किया, जबकि भीम आर्मी के लोगों को ही वहाँ पर पीटा गया. बजरंग दल, शिवसेना, आरएसएस वगैरह वहाँ पर लोग मौजूद थे. सांसद जो वहाँ के मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हैं राघव लखनपाल शर्मा, उनकी ये पूरी साजिश थी. सरकार इसमें पूरी इन्वॉल्व थी, पुलिस उनका साथ दे रही थी. लेकिन भीम आर्मी जिस तरीके से वहाँ पूरे अत्याचारों को उठा रही थी, उसको दबाने के लिए
चांस भी देना पड़ेगा टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू दिस. बट आप हमें ये बताइए, जैसे बीएसपी कहती है कि बीजेपी आपको सपोर्ट कर रही है, बीजेपी कहती है कि बीएसपी आपको सपोर्ट कर रही है, आपको कौन सपोर्ट कर रहा है?
पूरे देश का दलित समाज जो दुखी है, परेशान है, वो हमें सपोर्ट कर रहा है.
Okay, that's I'll let you walk into that answer. अच्छा, quickly हमें बताइए, because we have to go to the other panelists. आपके लीडर, why does he call himself रावण?
इसलिए लिखते हैं क्योंकि रावण के साथ भी अत्याचार हुआ था. रावण ने कभी भी कुछ ऐसा गलत काम नहीं किया जिससे उसको गलत कहा जा सके. सबसे बड़ी बात एक और कही जा सकती है कि भारत में राम राज्य लाने की कोशिश, एक पूरी तरह से हिंदुत्व लाने की कोशिश, उसका विरोधी रावण है. कि भारत एक धर्मनिरपेक्ष राज्य है, उसमें राम राज्य नहीं हो सकता, उसमें एक मानवता का राज्य।
Well, the audience आपको support करती है इसके ऊपर, but sir, is the fact कि रावण ब्राह्मण था, how does that play out?
No, हम रावण को ब्राह्मण नहीं कह सकते क्योंकि इसका कोई प्रूफ मौजूद नहीं है बिल्कुल भी। किस कम्युनिटी से था ये भी नहीं कहा जा सकता। लेकिन बात कास्ट की नहीं है, बात क्या जस्टिस है, वास्तव में क्या हमें कहना चाहिए, क्या हमें बोलना चाहिए। हमें इस कास्टिज्म के खिलाफ लड़ना है। और अगर रावण एक देश में अगर दलित कम्युनिटी में उभर के आया है तो हम रावण का पूरा साथ देंगे। वो रियल रावण कह सकते हैं हम उनको।
All right, a lot of this fight, this assertion, aggression is all about symbolism. We'll get to that too, but let's just go across to the BJP first. Sir, you heard the Bhim Army. They have a lot of charges that they've raised. Your party basically went hammer and tongs at your predecessor talking about law and order, as he's just listed out this whole spate of communal and casteist clashes that have taken place in the last 2 months.
Whatever allegation is made, it is not true. First of all, its allegation against BJP is not true. Yes, there are some incidents which has happened and we totally condemn those incidents. Not that we encourage violence. It's not that any of our party members or activist Karyakarta has been involved in such violence. But there are issues you have to understand. There are ground level issues that there are people from different communities, from different castes. They always had this kind of animosity. And it's not like it happened 2 months ago when the Yogi has become Chief Minister.
There's been a resurgence post this new government. The fact that you have a Thakur Chief Minister at the helm after many decades is what's causing this, is what he's saying.
That is what they think. The ground reality is that the Chief Minister is trying his best to communicate this message that the BJP as a political party is totally anti to caste politics. Totally.
Which is why when he went to visit a Dalit family, it seems his supporters asked them to use deodorant and soap before they met him?
Not at all. Those are things are only in the media, but the fact is that we are totally
Well, it wasn't just UP. I think even in Bangalore, the former Chief Minister, BJP Chief Minister, he went to a Dalit home and they ordered food from outside.
No, but he ordered food from outside, not for only for himself, for everyone, including the family, because they didn't want to put the family in trouble of making food for everyone. So they ordered food from next door. A small restaurant. What's wrong with it? It's not
then
that.
Why go to a Dalit home if you're not going to eat their food? If it's going to be so much of a trouble, sir, don't go call them to the
let me respond to that. See, had it been 2 people, he would have easily eaten that because they had prepared some food. But since there were so many people, then he had to order for everyone because he couldn't have eaten alone. It's easy to make an allegation, but you, without understanding the right perspective, what was the rationale behind ordering food from the next door restaurant? It's not for only for himself, for everyone, including the food they had prepared. They all ate together. The line the media has taken that he had ordered food from outside.
Okay,
it's not that they
Let's go across to Devashri. You were laughing over there, obviously taking pleasure in the BJP's discomfort. But let me ask you, I asked Anwarji here, how did this organization, that is, as he called it, a social group, that's working in education, come to be leading Dalit youth and the leading voice for Dalits today when the BSP chief is missing in action? In fact, it's taken her weeks to even show her face in Saharanapur.
Actually, the thing is that the main concern of our party is to highlight what is happening in Saharanapur all across the country. That there is a Dalit, atrocities are happening. There are so many cases. I have seen that in 1 month there are 566% rise in the robberies, loots, murder, rapes. Everything is happening in Uttar Pradesh. By creating a stand where BSP, a new front is arising against BSP. When all across the media, this type of news came out that a new front called Bhim Army is coming against BSP. That put a big question mark against that actual voices of those victims are being reduced by this so-called media. That's why we think that this Bhim Army is a product of BJP, so that the actual thing, that actual news that that is about the atrocities all across the Saharanapur, what happened in Saharanapur, that they are missing. That's why this is this.
But Devashri, for example, when you had Kanchiram and you had Mayawati, he saw in her political acumen, he saw in her strengths, and then he took her on under his tutelage. She became the second generation of the BSP. Where is your second generation? Why don't you take on Chandrasekhar Azad and all of these instead of writing them off?
This is not writing off. We don't know much about Chandrasekhar Azad. What is the structure of Bhim Army? What is what they are planning? What is the structure? See, if you need to plant a new
Dalits that usually used to be your voice that was speaking up for the Dalits.
That's what I'm trying to say. That if you want to plant a new tree, you have to plant not by cutting an older tree. So this should be the perceptive they should go with. If you want to make a social movement, just go through it, make a proper planning strategy, but don't come in the media, because when your people are struggling in Saharanapur, they are looking where is our leader, and leader is not there. He is sitting in Delhi or somewhere else.
The irony, it sounds like there's an old order that you want to perpetuate, even though young Dalits want this old order to be overturned. Jignesh, let me come across to you. Is the rise of groups like yours that we saw in Gujarat, like the Bhim Army over here, is that all because mainstream Dalit politics have failed to deliver?
बिल्कुल, जिस तरह से अब तक की दलित राजनीति चली है और खासकर से पिछले 20-25 सालों में दलितों का एक जबरदस्त इकोनॉमिक एक्सप्लॉयटेशन, रोटी कपड़ा मकान नहीं मिलना, शिक्षा और चिकित्सा के सवाल, महंगाई का शिकार है। ये सारे सवाल जब तक दलित आंदोलन या दलित मेनस्ट्रीम पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज नहीं उठाएगी और केवल बात एट्रोसिटीज और अनटचेबिलिटी के इर्द गिर्द घूमेगी, तब तक डेफिनेटली ये दलित अपना नया रास्ता अख्तियार करेंगे। और जिस तरह से ऊना में दलित हजारों की तादाद पर सड़कों पर उतर आए, रोहित वेमुला की घटना के बाद भी जो उभार देखा और अब भी जो भीम आर्मी का राइज देख रहे हैं, ये डेफिनेटली ये इंडिकेट करता है कि अब तक की जो ट्रेडिशनल दलित पॉलिटिक्स है उससे दलित अब ऊब चुके हैं। हम लोगों का ऐसा मानना है कि आत्मसम्मान की लड़ाई के साथ साथ हमारे अस्तित्व के जो सवाल है वो भी उठाने पड़ेंगे। दलितों को ये कहना पड़ेगा कि ऊना ना हो, सहारनपुर ना हो, लेकिन साथ साथ ये भी पूछना पड़ेगा मोदी जी से कि 5 साल के दौरान आपने जो ये कहा था कि 2 करोड़ युवाओं को रोजगार मिला था, उसका क्या हुआ? इंडियन पब्लिक हेल्थ स्टैंडर्ड के नॉर्म्स के मुताबिक सारे पीएचसी और सीएचसी में मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज, मेडिकल स्टाफ होना चाहिए। शिक्षा का बाजारूकरण बंद करिए, महंगाई को कंट्रोल में करिए। तो इस देश की आम जनता के जो सारे सवाल है वो सवाल दलितों के भी है। केवल एट्रोसिटी या मनुवाद मुर्दाबाद या ब्राह्मणवाद मुर्दाबाद के नारों में दलित मूवमेंट चौकअप हो गई, उसका ये नतीजा है। तो उससे बाहर निकलकर आत्मसम्मान के साथ साथ अस्तित्व की लड़ाई दलित लड़ना चाहते, इसलिए पर सड़कों पर उतर रहे हैं।
So we can't just have caste politics and reservation because the pie is anyway sliced so thin. Where do we go from here? But talking about jobs, let's go across to one member of this community who is actually creating jobs. And this would come as a surprise. Perhaps Mr. Hari Krishan Pippal is an industrialist. And actually, sir, calling you an industrialist would be an understatement. You're a millionaire. He has,
no, you cannot say millionaire.
You're being very humble. You have companies and industries that are worth at least 100 crores. You have a hospital, you have footwear companies, restaurants. People, आप हमें बताइए, when you meet people और जब people सुनते हैं कि आप दलित हो, फिर भी आप millionaire हो, what's their reaction? Are they able to mask their surprise?
No, they are surprised. But you know, behind this, मेरी बहुत मेहनत है, सब कुछ है. लेकिन आज क्या है कि इतना कुछ होने के बाद भी मैं अपने आगे से दलित वर्ड नहीं मिटा सकता। आज भी मैंने अपॉइंटमेंट किया अपने यहाँ, मैंने अपने किचन में एक कुक को अपॉइंट किया। 4 दिन बाद मेरे पास आके कहता है कि सर मेरा हिसाब कर दीजिए। क्यों? कि सर आप जाट हो, मैं पानी नहीं पिला सकता आपको। What is this? Maybe more than 1,500 people are working under me. All Pandit, Brahman, Thakur, everybody. We never say like this. You are this, you are this. In my hospital, more than 100 doctors is there. But I think they all are my children. They are working like this. We are treating the people, not looking the caste. Any caste of the patient come to my hospital, and I treat them just like my own patient. But why this man is thinking? Secondly, UP government 100% failure. In Agra,
which government? They've only been here 2 months.
No, 2 months. This is 2 months, but it's going in the wrong side.
Achha.
In Fatehpur Sikri and Sadar, there is lot of fighting and everything, and BJP people going in the thanas, police station, and CO में थप्पड़ मार दिया, प्रेजेंट्स को छुड़ा के ले गया, उनके अगेंस्ट कार्रवाई की। उसके बाद सीएम का ऑर्डर आया, एक एक करके सब कुछ छोड़ दिया। How this law is going?
Mr. Islam, law and order is not just about ensuring there's no violence. There also needs to be social equality, economic equality, you think? When Aditya Nath says he's going to provide law and order.
Now what the people are, the policeman is thinking, उनको punish किया जा रहा है, उनको wholesale में इधर से उधर transfer किया. Their moral is very down. When you are insulting the IPS officer and DM, then they cannot work. Who is the person who will control the law and order?
Let me respond to that.
Okay, so एक मिनट मिस पीपल जी, एक चीज आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ. अगर आपको देखेंगे बाहर से, अगर कोई आपको देखेगा, वो सोचेंगे कि लाइक इंडिया हैज चेंज्ड, इज नाउ अ मॉडर्न इंडिया. Modern India, at least as opposed to Bharat, is casteless. You think that's not true?
No, 100% not true. You know, I have an interview in BBC London. They are asking what is the position of the scheduled caste. I say the gap of the high caste and scheduled caste is every time is increasing. The government is not doing anything for closer this, because Dalit is also a part of the Hindu. Why you are thinking that Dalit is not a Hindu? So, Dalit is your strength. If there is any problem,
Dalits are Hindus. Jignesh, you agree? The BJP claims that too. It says that Dalits are part of their larger fold.
We are not Hindus. First of all, we are human beings. So consider our self-respect and dignity. And if you see the analysis of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and many other historians, technically Dalits are the out of the fold of the Varna Vyavastha. So they are Ati Shudras. But I don't want to go into those mythological interpretation. The point is, we believe in the rule of law. We believe in constitutional values, and our constitution proposes that in the final analysis we have to become a secular socialist democracy, not a Hindu Rashtra. Hindu Rashtra will be an absolute, complete, thorough disaster, not just for Dalits but for the entire nation. That is what Babasaheb Ambedkar said. So हमको हिंदू राष्ट्र नहीं चाहिए.